And we'll go like that. We'll go like that. And yes. Here, I'll do the. Hello, everyone. You can't hear any sound other than my voice, and I'm talking into a microphone. It's sort of bizarre. But you're here with us in the month of May for the New Orleans Game Developer Meetup. My name is Curtis. I'm your lovely host, and we are going to have a great time. If this is your first time here and don't know what we're doing here, this is the NOLA Game Dev Meetup. It happens on the third Thursday of every month. We also have a bi-weekly or semi-weekly, once every 2 weeks. Is that bi-monthly or bi-weekly? Bi-monthly is every 2 weeks? No.
It's used both ways.
It's yeah, it's made up. It's not real. Every 2 weeks we have a show and tell at Sea Cave Arcade, which is at 3000 St. Claude Avenue. And then we have a weekly hack night in our Discord. And we also host seasonal game jams and the Global Game Jam here in New Orleans. If you're not a part of our Discord, please scan this QR code, which I hope is still a valid invite link to our Discord, and you can join. If it's not a valid invite link, I'll figure it out and get you an invite. Is anyone here new that hasn't been to the meetup before? We got a whole bunch of people, so we're just gonna go around this way. It's gonna be weird talking into the microphone. You can't hear yourself, but just do it. So there's lovely people on the internet can hear you and know who you are.
Hi. I'm Rowan. Is there any more I should say?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, I don't know what to say.
I'm Ian.
Jeff.
I am Michael. I make tabletop games as Bad Quill Games.
I'm Jean, and I also do tabletop games, and used to work with Curtis.
Hello, my name is Clayton. I'm an undergrad from not New Orleans, and so I'm not very from here, but I'm excited to be here. So, hello.
Back there.
My name's Mike. I work at High Voltage Software.
I'm Zach. I also work at High Voltage.
I'm Mike. I'm a emotional support neighbor.
What?
He's emotional support labor.
Oh, okay.
He's my emotional support.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Hi guys, I'm Jerry. I'm a senior from Loyola. Just here to become a game programmer, hopefully.
Awesome. See, we have a nice, lovely, tight-knit community. Thank you all for coming here. It's your first time. Next. We don't have. Wait, do we have community announcements? We have something to say.
We need people to help with the jam.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is?
Oh, yeah.
What a game jam is? Yeah. Calder, why don't you come up here? Talk to the people. Tell the people at home what we need.
So Game Jam is like an abbreviated period where everyone just tries to make a video game in about the smallest time possible. In this case, we host ours for 10 days. So from like concept to completion, we give you a theme, and hopefully you form a team and you try your best to figure it all out. Whole reason we bring this up right now, we have seasonal jams. It's been a long stretch of seasons without one. It's been maybe a whole year at this point. And we want to bring them back. We like doing them, but it's kind of hard. Like I do a lot of the organization for it, and I can't do everything. So if anyone wants to kind of get on board a little bit, help out, like maybe just even see the inner workings of NOGD in general, like totally willing to take on some volunteers. It's a good way to learn graphic design. It's a good way to learn social media. It's a good way to learn marketing. If that's something you're interested in, please just bother me or any of the organizers on Discord. We'll be happy to help out. This one's probably going to be the same. It's going to be another 10-day game jam. We'll try to have stuff in person. We always say that, and then some other viral outbreak always happens, but apparently COVID is safe now, according to the government. So hopefully that won't happen. And majority of it will still probably be online, seeing as it's 10 days. So, I don't know. It'll be fun. And really encourage anyone who even seems like partly interested in participating in the sort of organizational structure of it. Just give us a message. We'll be happy to sort of bring you on board. It's fun. It's. I promise you, with more than just me, it won't be that much work. But yeah, there you go.
Sweet. Thank you. No. Oh, there's not the introduction slide. Whatever. So this month we're joined by our wonderful friend Sandro, known as PizWiz on the internet. He's going to be talking to us about that one. Slideshow. Promoting and marketing your indie game on an indie budget. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sandro.
Is this mic one?
Yeah.
Okay. How's it going? My name is Sandro. Online, I'm known as PizWiz. I've had a, I'm actually not a marketer or a publisher or a promoter or anything like that. But I've had some games go viral before. I've had my own experiences marketing my own games. And I was somehow wrangled into doing this for a different convention. Someone was supposed to do this indie marketing slideshow thing, and they didn't end up doing it. So I ended up making it, but then I didn't end up doing it. So I want to do it for you guys and show you guys what I've learned and what I've researched, and hopefully you guys can, get something out of it. All right. Yeah. Okay, some disclosures. I actually have a little tapper here. I want to see if this works. Did that work? Did you press anything? Yeah. Okay. I'm a professional. All right. Okay, so, 10% of the info you hear today will be useless tomorrow. With any kind of promoting, any kind of marketing, the landscape changes all the time. 50% will be useless a year from now, right? Things are always evolving, and 99% will be useless 5 years from now. And it's also possible all of this will be useless tomorrow if the world ends, right? Or if the internet shuts down. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Disclosure number 2, marketing will be different for every kind of game. So obviously, if you have a tabletop game, that's going to be completely different than marketing a shooter or a platformer. And even if you have something that's in the same genre and you're in the same studio, marketing will be different. Okay. Okay, this is the most important disclosure when it comes to marketing and promoting your game. No amount of marketing will save a shit game. If your game is bad, it's not going to do well. No matter how much you market it, no matter how much you promote it, a bad game will never be good. All right. Good marketing is a tool to prevent a good game from going unnoticed, right? That is what good marketing is for. And you can, some people have marketed bad games before. We've all seen it, right? And so good marketing can save a shit game, but that's not what it's for. And it won't help you. All right. When do you begin marketing? Now. Now is when you begin marketing. If you ever even thought about making a game, if you ever even dreamed about making a game, you should start marketing. Start promoting yourself. And we'll get into how. Where to begin? Okay, creating a community hub, right? This is where you will send people. When you promote, when you show anything, you want a place to direct people to, right? A lot of people have a website or a social media page, and we'll talk about what's, the goods and bads of each one. Let's see. It's a place for announcements and updates, value, purpose, and engagement, for feedback, exclusives, and for fun, right? Let's go. So where should your community hub be? We're going to go through a couple of them, and a couple of ones that I've been recommended and some that work. Let's see. Okay, Discord, right? Discord was actually the #1 most recommended community hub by game developers, and the developers I talked to as well. It is. But yeah, we'll get into some of it. We'll get into the pros and cons. Let's go. Okay, yeah, Discord pros. Yeah, number one recommended hub by other developers. And when I say hub, all this means is that, like, if you have a business card, if you're promoting stuff on, like, Reddit, on social media or whatever, this is what you will put as, like, the link there, right? Go to my Discord. This is where you go. This is where you want to gather people. You want people to you want to have a community so that you can, garner, you can garner an audience. You want people talking about your game. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Bros discussion and community. Said that. Oh yeah, Discord bros. Everyone is a gamer on Discord. You can have a community anywhere else on the internet. Discord is going to be the only social media platform where everyone there, mostly everyone there, plays video games. Okay. It's got voice chat, which is very good. And there's a lot of tools on Discord. Moderation, forum, calendars, emojis, all kinds of stuff, right? Okay. Free leak CIA documents as well. All over Discord. All right. The cons of Discord. It's PC gaming focused. This could be a pro or a con, depending on what you do. It might not be so good if you make mobile games or if you make, Switch games, whatever it may be. Discord might not be the option for you. It's got a low relative user base compared to other platforms we'll talk about. 150 million active users. There's no feed, which we will get into why that's bad. It's bad because of this, right? Server fatigue. So when a lot of developers were recommending Discord was around like 2018, 2019. I was watching a lot of GDC talks about promotion, and that was before the pandemic happened, and a lot of people started joining Discord. So people's Discords became filled with servers. So a lot of people don't even want to join your random game server, or a lot of people just kind of forget about it. It'll get left aside. So there's a huge amount of server fatigue. So if you want to make Discord your hub to show people your game, you really have to make sure it's an important one that people will want to come back to and won't just be forgotten about in the sea of servers they have on their Discord. Okay, Twitter, right? This is the next one. You guys can enjoy this beautiful artwork I've made. Twitter. Okay, yeah, Twitter pros. There's a big indie dev scene. Okay, Twitter's a weird one, right? Because when I actually made this is before Elon Musk bought Twitter, and everything went a little crazy. So everything I say here is going to have a lot of question marks on it, or a lot of for nows. But there's a big indie dev scene on Twitter. A lot of developers are there. They love to talk with each other. They love to see what you make. It's great for that. All right. Yeah, people use Twitter for news. And there's some question marks there because that's changing too. And because of that, it's great for announcements. It's great for saying when your game is dropping. It's great for saying when you've started a Kickstarter or anything like that. Or when you just began working on a game, whatever it may be. The algorithm used to be very good for promoting games and for sharing indie dev work. It's questionable now because there's Twitter Blue, there's all these weird algorithm changes. No one's really sure. For now, it's still working. You can still post on there a picture of your game, and it'll do pretty well on the algorithm if you use the right tips. And I'll give you more of that later. But yeah. It's also great for networking. People have their DMs open. If you follow each other, you're more likely to see each other's DMs. It's great for talking to developers and things like that. Twitter cons is Twitter. That is one of the biggest cons of Twitter. The blue check marks, of course. Having the buy, promotion, things like that. And Elon Musk. These are the cons. Okay. The future is unknown of Twitter. So if you start building a community on Twitter, Twitter may just fall apart tomorrow. No one's quite sure. Okay, TikTok. This has been a new one. This has been big, and this has garnered a lot of community. Yeah, you can enjoy it. I made a little work of art for each one of them here. Okay. TikTok pros. A really great algorithm. If you have a game that's part of some niche community or some kind of like oddity that you probably maybe not blow up in a more normie audience, it'll blow up on TikTok. TikTok finds the people who want to see your games. This is the benefit of having TikTok as a community space. Huge young active user base. Niche communities. The duets and live streams is a great way for people to interact with your games. People post like gameplay footage, and some guy on there is going to be like, "Oh wow, this is so cool," and that's going to blow up bigger than your gameplay footage will. It also lets you, the live streams let you talk to people who want to see different things in your games, stuff like that. Okay, TikTok cons, young demographic. If you make games that maybe appeal to a more older demographic, might not be so good. That's why it's a pro or a con. It's got a low exit rate. All that means is that like people are not likely to leave TikTok for any reason. If they see your game on there, they're more likely to be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then just scroll past and forget about it. So that might not be a reason you want to have things on TikTok, because they might not, buy your game or donate to a Kickstarter or anything like that. Okay. And it's mobile focused, of course, which is a whole other thing. So that can be a pro or con. If you're making a mobile game, it's good. If you're not, Okay, YouTube. YouTube is a big one. Yeah, you can enjoy this artwork I've made. Okay. YouTube Pros. It's good for long form gameplay and trailers. This doesn't really go well anywhere else on any other platform. And if that's mostly what you're posting, it's good for that. Update vlogs, live streams, it's great for that too. Any kind of long form content, if that's what you can make, if that's what you have time to make, it's good for this. It's good for engagement with gaming channels. A lot of people find games through other gaming channels. And by gaming channels, I don't mean, like Markiplier, PewDiePie, or any big ones. I mean the very small channels who will bring some audience to you. That's what you want to engage with. And Shorts, which is basically just TikTok, which has been a very useful tool for a lot of games as well. The cons is there's little engagement. It's mostly just comments and people chatting with you through live streams. Isn't super amazing. The algorithm is very questionable on TikTok. On YouTube, changes every day. So that's a difficult beast to wrangle with. Okay, Instagram. Let's go. Okay, Instagram has a huge user base, almost 2 billion, way more than all the other ones. A lot of tools, reels, stories, live streams. It's great if you have like a personality, if you want to show yourself a lot in making your games. It can be super useful, and people love to see like an influencer, especially like indie dev influencers. They like that come up story, and that's big on Instagram. Is this sort of influencer culture? Pros and cons, mobile focus, just like TikTok. Visual focused, not so good for games that aren't super visual focused because it is all images. But that can be a pro or a con, depending on your game. And the algorithm, not nearly as good as some other platforms. Mostly caters to very normal stuff, addictive mobile games, those kind of things. Okay. Reddit. You guys can enjoy that artwork there. Okay. Reddit pros. So when I say Reddit, I do mean like making your own Reddit community, not just like posting on Reddit. We'll get into like posting and promotion. That's like the second part of this presentation. But I mean making your own community. And it's very similar to Discord in a lot of ways, in the way the communities sort of interact. But one of the pros of Reddit over Discord is the feed. Discord does not have a feed that they can like sort of see your updates on. Reddit does. And sometimes your stuff will pull up on people's front page, which is good. The upvoting, downvoting, something that other platforms don't have. So a lot of the good content will rise to the top. Bad content, will simmer down. That's another pro of Reddit, right? Bigger user base in Discord. The Reddit cons is communities die very easily. If Reddit moderators see that your community is mostly for promotion, they will just remove it as well. So you got to make sure it's like an active community that is doing stuff, or else it'll just get removed. Reddit culture, we'll talk about that more later. And the lack of tools. And I say sort of here because actually Reddit has a lot of tools. They have live streaming, all this kind of stuff, but people just don't use them. They have like chats, all kinds of things, but it's unused. So Then we have your friend Toby's house. This does not work. Pros, Toby is nice. He gives you free beer. Cons, Toby is weird. There's not enough space, bad vibes, and he smells like ham. So don't do Toby's house. Okay, not recommended. Personal website. Don't send people to your own personal website. Most of the time, sometimes it works. In some cases it has. But you really don't want to do that. You want to send to a specific social media link where they can get updates. People don't typically go back to your personal website once they've gotten there once. Okay. See, Linktree and link sharing, again, you want to focus on one social media platform for your community to build on. You don't want, even though people might not have that social media, if they want to really follow you, they'll find you somewhere else. And you can put your Linktree in those things. Like you can have a Twitter as your main space and have the Linktree and the link in your Twitter. But you really want to share one thing to focus your community into one space. Facebook, just not very great for building community. People have tried in the indie dev scene. It doesn't work too well. That's really all there is to Facebook. Tumblr just has a very low user base currently. It has shown Tumblr was one of the ones that I almost wrote about, but it just wasn't good enough for most of the things it's useful for. Twitch, yeah, no, just don't do that. What's to say about that? Mastodon, too low of a user base. I know people want to leave everywhere and go to Mastodon, but it's just not worth it. Your game page, like your Steam page, your itch page, don't send people there either. Does not work as a community hub. Have that link, in your community hubs, but don't make it your main hub where you send people to. And don't do Toby's house. Do not do that, yeah. Okay, yeah, choose only one. Reminder, all right. Okay, what's next? The elevator pitch. Okay, so once you have a community hub, this is the first step. Then you need an elevator pitch for your game. This is going to be the thing that catches people. You're going to use it in a lot of promotion and marketing. What is the elevator pitch? Let's do it. Okay. Woo. It's a brief summary of your game. Simple as that, really. It's called an elevator pitch because it's supposed to be the summary of your game or your project that you can tell somebody in an elevator before they get off on their floor. That's why it's called an elevator pitch. It's only a couple sentences, and it needs to make your game sound fun. And it'll be used in your promotional material, all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to pull up some games, and I'm going to ask you guys if you can come up with a good elevator pitch for this game that would sell the game. And then I'm going to show you what the actual elevator pitch was that did so well and sold the game. So we're using successful games here. So by show of hands, anyone want to try making an elevator pitch for Among Us? Anybody? No? You want to try? You can try. Go for it.
Okay. Jelly Bean Host Your Own Murder.
Jelly Bean Host Your Own Murder is not very descriptive, but it's a very fun sounding thing. I don't actually mind that one too much. But I think you would need to be more descriptive. I can show what it is. It was a multiplayer game of teamwork and betrayal. Play online with 4 to 15 players as you attempt to hold your spaceship together and return to civilization. But keep an eye out as one or more random players among the crew are imposters bent on sabotaging and killing everyone. That is the elevator pitch for Among Us that was used for all the press and then blew the game up. Okay, Stray. Does anyone want to try making an elevator pitch for Stray? Okay, I'll just show it. Okay, this is the elevator pitch for Stray. Lost alone and separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long-forgotten cyber city and find the way home. Now, a lot of people didn't like this elevator pitch because it didn't describe any gameplay at all, but it actually worked very well for Stray that has very simple and minimal gameplay anyway. It's more of like, a cat simulator. So that works. This works for that game. Untitled Goose Game. Does anyone want to try Untitled Goose Game?
Being a neighborhood torturing goose trying to get the thing you want.
Okay, that's pretty much what it is. They just worded a little clever. They said a slapstick stealth sandbox where you are a goose let loose on an unsuspecting village. Make your way around town from people's back gardens to the high street, shops to the village green. setting up pranks, stealing hats, honking a lot, and generally ruining everyone's day. Okay, those are examples of good elevator pitches. And we'll get, and this next part is promotion. We'll get to why making an elevator pitch is so important because it'll be used in a lot of promotion. Really fast, just the distinction between what indirect marketing and direct marketing is. Direct marketing is basically a door-to-door salesman. So when you go right up to somebody and you're like, buy this thing. Here's this thing, buy this thing. This can take the form of like emails, paid advertisements, DMs, in person. It's like an intrusive form of advertising, of marketing, I mean. Then we have indirect marketing, which is basically just social media posts. It's a more sneaky way of marketing. It's sort of just like putting your game out there and people see it, they hear about it, but you're not telling them specifically to buy your game. Okay. Let's see. Okay, where to post promo and how to post promo. Let's see. Okay, Reddit. Now, Reddit is actually the biggest place to post promotional material for a game. It has the most click-through rate. It has the highest rate of people following whatever community hub is connected to your Reddit post. But it does have all these stipulations here, which I put down. You don't have to read any of those. But it's basically, Reddit has this big culture of anti-promotion. They do not like you to promote on Reddit if you want to. They have this thing called the 1 in 10 rule, where you're only supposed to promote 1 out of every 10 of your posts.
Meaning like only 1 out of 10 of your posts can reference something that you sell.
Reference something that you, not even that you sell, or something that you make, something about you personally. It's really weird. And there's an explanation for it, and it's right here. It's they want you to buy ads. They really want you to buy those Reddit ads if you want to promote anything. They don't want you to promote in a community. Because, well, they have this whole rule against spam. I'm going to show you in a second. People abuse the heck out of it. People find ways around it all the time. The rule doesn't really make any sense. And we'll get to that. But yeah, okay. So here are some examples of successful posts on the R Gaming subreddit promoting their games. So we have this guy up here. And this was kind of a genius post. He's got 127K upvotes. He says, 3 years ago, I didn't know how to code. Now my game is on the front page of Steam. Very simple, just a guy pointing to his game on the front page of Steam. And then, of course, in the comment section of all these is a link to either his game or to his Twitter or somewhere else to bring people away. And you want that link to be in the comment section of your Reddit post to your community hub. Yes?
I don't really understand Reddit, but I thought you couldn't, with either images or text, you couldn't mix that or something.
No. You can. It's always text and images, right? And if you want to post a blow up on Reddit, you got to use an image. Yeah, just a text post will never do very well. Even if you're making something like a tabletop game, find an image. Find something, because just text posts almost never get any traction on Reddit, especially on something like art gaming. But yeah, that's a very smart post. And this guy posted this everywhere. Actually, I looked in his Reddit history, and he posted the same picture on like every Reddit imaginable. Just him pointing to his game with that same little post. And because Reddit liked it, it actually never got taken down for self-promotion. So there's a trick to Reddit. If Redditors like your post, it doesn't get taken down. If they don't like your post, it will get taken down for those same rules. Okay. And also, Reddit loves a come-up story. They love a we did it Reddit story, They love a guy pointing at a picture looking happy. They love that stuff. Here's a more simple post. He says, I'm a solo dev. For the past year and a half, I've been making a game entirely from paper-drawn assets. Just very simple. That's it. That has also a lot of likes. Okay. Now you can see here, this is one of the reasons why you do need to make, before you start promoting, that elevator pitch, because it's used in a lot of promotion. It will bring you to the top if you use it right. This guy basically just put his elevator pitch as his Reddit post. He says, this is a game about climbing colossal creatures and exploring fractal environments. I spent the last 2 years developing it solo. And then he posted a GIF, which was taken down, but yeah, it was just a video. And then here's another one. My dream of 20 years is coming true. I'm making a love letter to Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy called Threads of Time, which is kind of like a small elevator pitch, but using points of that elevator pitch in your posts is going to be important when promoting on Reddit, because people will be able to quickly read what your game is about. These 3 posts are also all videos. Most of the time it's videos that blow up. You want short clips, you want videos, that's what you want to be posting. This guy got very lucky with his posts. No one else has ever done something like that where it's just an image of him pointing at something. But most of the time, yeah, you're going to want to post small clips and videos if you want it to blow up. All right, let's go to the next slide. My clicker isn't working anymore. Oh, there we go. Oh, you did it? Okay. Okay. These are the Reddits to post on. Now, these Reddits here are not our gaming. Our gaming will be your biggest poster. It'll be the most. You'll get the most traction from our gaming. But these ones allow you to post as much as you want. They allow you to post indefinitely. They don't care about self-promo. And you will, do well on it if you follow those like posting guidelines of a video or an image and a sort of smaller version of your elevator pitch. But that's our indie gaming, indie dev, and 60 FPS gaming. And also find your niche community. Find the community that likes your games, that is like, more entwined with your game. And even communities outside of gaming. There was a guy we talked to who made this game called Koala Town, which is about koalas who like live in a town, believe it or not. And he got most traction out of the r/koala subreddit, not out of any of the gaming subreddits. So sometimes, if your game has a fun theme, find that Reddit, find that community that works. Yeah. Try not to post screenshots. I put post GIFs, no screenshots. Of course, if your game is not like animated or visual, can't really help that. But try and post GIFs, and then always put your community hub in the comments, right? Okay, Twitter. Here's examples of posts that blow up on Twitter. Now, it's pretty much the same concept. Like we have this one here from Alphabeta Gamer. And Alphabeta Gamer always posts he's always blowing up on Twitter. And you can send games to him as well. A lot of these you can send games to, and they'll sort of make a good post out of just for free. You can be like, hey, look, my game is cool, check it out. And they'll take a clip from your game, and they know how to play the social media game, so they'll post it for you. But he says, Depart, a very intense horror FPS with a focus on realistic player movement. So again, it's that small elevator pitch and then a video of the game. Yeah, and we have another one just like that here. Check out Mouse, an upcoming first-person shooter with an old-school Disney animation-inspired art style being developed by Fumi Games. It's just that, that elevator pitch and a video of the game. Now, Twitter has a super big indie dev community. So posting your development sometimes does a lot better than posting actual videos of your complete game. So, for example, this one got almost more likes than some of the other ones I was looking at. And it says, I've replaced how I assemble the player's head today with coordinates rather than sprite sheets for each animation. The benefit, we now have an easier character customization. Again, it's super indie dev focused. It's focused on the development, and that does really well. And this guy just posted his 3D rock workflow, which did actually better than pretty much every other post. So again, just posting what you're working on is great for Twitter. Doesn't have to be finished. Doesn't have to be nearly finished. It could be like a weird glitch, anything like that. Those do really well. Okay. My button stopped working again. Can you press the button? Okay, Facebook groups. For post guidelines of Facebook groups, see Reddit. Facebook groups actually are really good. Oh, you can go back to Facebook groups for a second. Facebook groups are very good, have a really high click-through rate for whatever reason. Just go to groups on Facebook, look up indie dev, look up game dev, follow the biggest ones, and post just like you would on Reddit. They hate spammers, so post frugally. But yeah, pretty much the same concept. That's it. All right. Okay, TikTok. TikTok has been super huge for promotion, especially recently. And I have some examples here that we can look through. It's very different than any other platform promoting on. And if you want to click on the first one, we can see a successful one here. Okay, it doesn't matter. It has some trendy song on it, right? And it says how it started versus, and it does a drop versus how it's going, right? Very simple. Follow the trendy music, which is important on TikTok. But yeah, just a very simple post. Let's do the next one. See how different they can be. Okay, we don't have to watch this guy's whole thing because we can't listen to it. But this guy just did a quick micro vlog, right, where he says the day in the life of an indie dev. He doesn't really show his game that much, but he did have a lot of success in making these little vlogs where he just does this essentially. He makes his coffee, shows his programming, yada yada. Yeah, and he that's all it is. So that's a great thing to do too, if you can do those kind of micro vlogs. And this last guy, this is the guy who blew up on Twitter. I mean on TikTok, sorry. And we can watch this whole thing. He did really well promoting his indie game. And he started from the very beginning. He just showed the development of his game little by little. And yeah, this is probably one of the most successful campaigns we've seen on any like social media without using, any money at all in a long, long time. So mimicking what this guy does is probably a good step forward for you. All he does is he just, like he is here, he just shows different gameplay mechanics very briefly. Has some trendy music to it. There you go. Okay, Instagram. We go to Instagram. We can move. See Twitter and TikTok, right? Essentially, the images, your regular posts are going to be just like the ones on Twitter. And the reels, which is also important, are going to be just like the TikToks we watched. Yeah, make sure you are posting stories as well. Stories are super important. Most people look at stories than anything else on TikTok. So putting things in your stories, very important. Okay. People want to see you on Instagram. They love influencers. They want to see what you're about. And yes, spam hashtags. So I think I might have skipped over it on Twitter. But on Twitter, if you want your post to do good on the algorithm, you can only post 1 or 2 hashtags because it splits up how much it pushes on those hashtags based on how many hashtags you have. Instagram is completely different. You need to put as many hashtags as you want because it'll equally divvy it out no matter how many hashtags you put on it. So you want to spam as many hashtags that are related to your game onto Instagram. If the hashtag is not related to your game, it'll actually not help you. So make sure it's still related. But yeah. Yep. Endnotes. Let's see. Always send people to your community hub in your posts. Try and post consistently on social media, whether that's fast or slow. What's most important is consistency. Everyone tells you that. Keep your community engaged. You can keep your community engaged by just, making, a lot of people recommend making like competitions, doing community like beta tests on certain projects, these kind of things. Do not respond to trolls. Just ban them. That's super important. That'll destroy communities because everyone will start doing it. Do not do that. Is there another thing? And good luck. I think that's it. And I think that is it. Is there anyone have any questions? Thank you. Yeah. My personal preferred hub was Twitter, actually. Things have gotten kind of crazy on Twitter, but Twitter was really nice for a while. But yeah, no, my personal preferred hub was Twitter, but not anymore. Not anymore. I would probably move to Discord if I could. Yeah. What's up? What were some of the games you made? Sorry? What were some of the games you made? I've made a game called Bowler, and I've made a game called Warp. Warp was actually the one that did the best in promoting. I didn't show one of the things, but I was #1 on R Gaming with my game Warp, which was a game made out of pen and paper drawing, similar to that post I showed. And I actually made a big mistake posting that game, was that I didn't put my community hub in the comments. I put a Kickstarter, which didn't build a community. The Kickstarter wasn't successful, and it sort of ruined any promotion I had in that area.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about doing Kickstarters? I noticed with the TTRPGs, that's what everybody does.
Yeah, Kickstarters are very good. You want to use Kickstarter over any other kind of crowdfunding source. Kickstarter will get you the most money.
But I mean, just crowdfunding in general.
Yeah, crowdfunding in general. Do not send people to your crowdsource through promotion. Always send them to that community hub, and then through that community hub, talk to people, remind them of the give them updates on your crowdsourcing, but never. Are there any cons? No. I think crowdsourcing is a very useful tool for indie games. Obviously, if you don't, make sure you can actually do the project you crowdsource. Other than that, there's no cons. There's no cons. Just make sure you can complete the project. Don't fail everybody. That's all I can say. That's it. Any other questions? Everyone's gone. Yes.
I mean, it's semi more like a quick comment.
Yeah.
Since Elon Musk bought Twitter and all of that nonsense went down, I have moved some of my presence over to Tumblr.
Yeah.
And at least with people stuff.
Yeah.
My posts on Tumblr get way more engagement over time than Twitter ever did.
Yeah.
Like Twitter sometimes it would explode for like 2 days and be real hot.
Yeah.
But for Tumblr, I have posts like 3 months ago that still get like still get
Yeah, so Tumblr, I would still recommend for promotion. The only thing I wasn't recommending Tumblr about was just as a community hub, right? Use Tumblr to send people to your community hub, sure. I didn't really get into the promotion on Tumblr. I skipped a couple things with that. But yeah, no, Tumblr's still a very useful tool, especially for promotion. I just wouldn't recommend it as a community gathering place, just because of its low active user base. Would be the only reason. Yeah. Yeah, so there are niche things that did blow up on forums. We've seen some things even blow up on like weird blogs. Like for example, something like Dwarf Fortress is a huge game that blew up through forums and had a big community on forums, but even they have moved outside of that to Discord, to these other things. Anywhere that did have a forum, moved to Discord, is what I'll say. Because Discord is just the next evolution of that. Yeah.
Like I have a Discord, and it's been very helpful for feedback.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how to control it, but every so often I start selling something and do searches, and it turns out it's a forum where people are talking about it.
Yeah, and there's still active forums. There are still definitely niche active forums that do a lot, but those are, I wouldn't recommend starting any just because they are a dying breed, right? But if there's some niche community forum, definitely post it. I'm not stopping.
Well, yeah, what happens is sometimes there's something that you can take it off a little bit, and I'll find it, and I don't know what to do with it. So I get on the forum,
I think that if you did like WordPress, right? Like, if something takes off from the forum, and then you like show something blue, like if you say anything other than thanks, then it's like interesting conversation with Jeff. And then suddenly you like appear blue in a conversation.
Yeah.
It can be like
it's off-putting, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
Actually, help me understand a little bit about
I wanted to know if there was any like specific differences between like tabletop games or like card games compared to video games. Because it seems like most of your experiences in video games.
Yeah,